Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we translate corporate jargon into plain English and uncover the real stories behind the filings we all have to deal with. Today we're diving into NVR INC's latest update. Now, if you like getting these kinds of easy to understand breakdowns, make sure you hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where we chat about all things business and investing. So, NVR INC just put out a report, and while many companies just tell you the good news, we're here to dig a little deeper and see what their numbers are really saying about the state of their business. NVR is a big player in the home building industry. They design, build and manage families and individuals into homes across 17 states. They also offer mortgage banking and title services to their customers, which is pretty common for larger builders trying to control more of the process and make a bit more money from each sale. The main event in this filing is the company's announcement of their financial results for the quarter and year-to-date periods ending on June 30, 2025. Think of this as their mid-year checkup, telling us how they've been doing financially up to that point. This report essentially confirms that NVR released a press release on July 23rd, which contained their financial results for the second quarter of 2025. We're looking at their performance from April through June of that year. This is their way of officially telling the world, and more importantly, the investors and the public, how the company has been performing in terms of making money and managing its finances. The key piece of information they've attached here is that press release itself, Exhibit 99.1. This is where all the juicy financial details are usually found. Now, normally in these filings, we would see tables with specific numbers like revenue, profit, and expenses. This particular filing is a bit more streamlined, in that it's primarily referencing a press release for those details. So while we don't have the raw numbers directly embedded here in some cases, the filing tells us that those numbers were made public on July 23rd. Let's think about what this means for NVR and for anyone watching them. Home building is a sector very sensitive to interest rates and the overall economy. When rates go up, mortgages become more expensive, and that can slow down demand for new homes. When the economy is strong and people feel confident about their jobs and future, they're more likely to buy a new house. So this report is a snapshot of how NVR navigated the economic conditions during that second quarter. They also include this cover page interactive data file. This is essentially an electronic way to tag all the important information in the report, making it easier for computers and financial software to read and analyze. Think of it as an index that's built directly into the document. It's important for financial analysts and automated systems, but less so for our everyday understanding. And the signature here tells us who officially approved this report on behalf of NVR. It's Daniel D. Malzahn, who holds a pretty important role: Senior Vice President, Chief Financial Officer, and Treasurer. This means he's directly responsible for the company's financial health and reporting. So his sign-off carries a lot of weight, confirming that the information presented is accurate to the best of the company's knowledge. Now, from what we can gather from this specific filing, it points us to public financial results. Typically, a company will use a press release like this to highlight key achievements or financial milestones. The real story is often in the details of that press release. How much did they sell? How much profit did they make? And what are their future outlooks? Without the full financial tables here, we'd usually go to that press release to see if sales increased or decreased, if their profits are up or down compared to last year, and what they expect for the rest of the year. Usually home builders like NVR will report on things like the number of homes delivered, the average selling price of those homes, and their backlog, which is the number of homes they have under contract but haven't built yet. A strong backlog is a good indicator of future revenue. We'd also look at their margins, how much profit they make on each home they sell after accounting for the cost of building it. Are those margins shrinking because of rising material costs, or are they expanding because they can charge more for their homes? For NVR, considering their business model, which often includes offering mortgages and title services, we'd also want to see how those segments performed. Sometimes a builder might have great home sales, but struggle in their ancillary services, or vice versa. Understanding these different pieces helps paint a clearer picture of the overall health of the company. Looking at this report, the key takeaway is that NVR has put out its financial performance data for the second quarter of 2025. The specific numbers, which would be in that reference press release, would tell us if their press release indicated solid sales increases and healthy profit margins. Despite potential economic headwinds like higher interest rates, that would be a strong signal of NVR's ability to manage its business effectively and meet consumer demand. Conversely, Any signs of slowing sales, declining profits, or a shrinking backlog would be reasons for concern and would require a closer look at the specific challenges they might be facing in the market that can be quite volatile. My take from this particular filing is that it's an announcement of information rather than a deep dive into the numbers themselves. The real analysis would rely heavily on the content of that July 23rd press release. If that press release indicated solid sales increases and healthy profit margins despite potential economic headwinds like higher interest rates, that would be a strong signal of NVR's ability to manage its business effectively and meet consumer demand. Alright, that's our quick look at this NVR Inc. filing. What's your take on these kinds of company announcements? Do you think the press release is enough, or do you always want to see the raw numbers directly in the SEC filing? Let us know in the comments below. If this breakdown was helpful, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. And don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.